Which one is an animal? Is correct. Which is a fruit? Is correct. Which is a vehicle? Is correct. Which is food? Is correct. Which one flies? Is correct. Which is hot? Is correct. Which one is cold? Is correct. Which is a house item? Is correct. Which is a tool? Is correct. Which is an emotion? Is correct. Which is an insect? Is correct. Which is a drink? Is correct. Which is a sport item? Is correct. Which is a bird? Is correct. Which is water? Is correct. Which is a flower? Is correct. Which is a book? Is correct. Which is a phone? Is correct. Which is a fish? Is correct. Which is an musical instrument? Is correct. Which is a tree? Is correct. Which is a planet? Is correct. Which is a medical item? Is correct. Which is a pet? Is correct. Which is a fast thing? Is correct. Which is used in school? Is correct. Which is a desert? Is correct. Which is a baby item? Is correct. Which is a key? Is correct. Which is a holiday symbol? Is correct. Which is a commuter? Is correct. Which is a clock? Is correct. Which is ice cream? Is correct. Which is a cat? is correct, which is a dog. Is correct, which is fries. Is correct, which is a carrot. Is correct, which is a star. Is correct, which is a bed. Is correct, which is a chair. Is correct, which is a shoe. Is correct, which is a pen. Is correct, which is a camera. Is correct, which is a train. Is correct, which is a moon. Is correct, which is a snake. Is correct, which is a heat. Is correct, which one is milk. Is correct, which can cut. Is correct, which is a house. Is correct, which is a frying pan. Is correct, which is a toy. Is correct, which is a dress. Is correct, which is a basketball. Is correct, which is a music symbol. Is correct, which is a bicycle. Is correct, which is a map. Is correct, which is a door. Is correct, which is a TV. Is correct, which is a lamp. Is correct, which is a log. Is correct, which is a leaf. Is correct, which is a gift. Is correct, which is a rainbow. Is correct, which is an umbrella. Is correct, which is a horse. Is correct, which is a shirt. Is correct, Which one is a bear? Is correct. Which one is a shark? Is correct.